So I'm going to make a paper game in the next few minutes. My goal is it's only going to need paper and pencil, and it's only going to be for one player. I'm going to make it right now using some game design knowledge I have. I write a lot about game design ideas I have, and one of the core ideas I have is that game-bound connections, sort of like the internal mechanics of the game, lead to player connections and player needs. The player needs is where the real experience will get. What does the player need to understand from this game? Need to understand to experience the game. So I'm just going to put that here. Just remembering that the game-bound mechanics and what the mechanics need will lead to what the player needs to understand about the game. Okay, so I have paper only and pencil, and it has to be one player only. These seem to be game-bound connections and needs, and I'm going to brainstorm what sort of connections and needs this entails in of itself. So paper only and pencil, this represents that I can use, when I look, I can use lines and dots, and then one player only gives me a lot of player-bound connection. Sort of like the player might feel isolated. There's a lot of isolation involved in the one player only experience. And lines and dots, okay, you know, the game needs to have some uncertainty, but I don't want to even use dice here. This is only paper and pencil. So I have paper only and pencil, lines and dot, isolation. What else could it be? One player only. What does playing alone give you? There's a lot of connections that could be made of, oh, maybe you're on your own journey, being on your own journey alone. The player only and pencil, the pencil in of itself, you can also write. So maybe we could have some sort of journaling game that's involved. These are sort of some still mechanical connections, but also some player sort of connections of isolation or like their journey. And okay, sometimes just to give myself more of a sense, I prepared some emotions/experiences I want to tap into. And these are just completely random, you know, just some ideas I've thought cool. The whole idea is you can pull from other experiences that you want to emulate, and then we need to find what mechanics will emulate these experiences. So, pure rage, no matter the cost. Interesting. That could be cool. It must be done mindset. Okay, that's interesting. Sort of like what I was thinking here is like getting the player to enter that state where they need to say it must be done. And this is just a song. I'll play the song right now. It's a good song. I was like listening to this. I'm like, man, this feels like something that could be a game. You know, maybe just getting that emotion. You know, it's making me feel something. What mechanics can make me feel that as well? Endless Cosmos, horror or beauty. This can actually work really well with the whole isolation or journey. I do like this quite a lot. Sheep. Yeah, it's sheep. There's not much more to sheep. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna put this here closer to us. And there's not much to sheep, but maybe just like the experience of like tending sheep or having sheep. I guess that could work with isolation. Shepherds are usually quite alone. Journey, I don't know if sheep really take a journey. The more I think about lines and dots, lines could represent borders or sort of fences. Sheep need fences sometimes, or I mean, maybe sheep dogs, but I'm just going to put in fences. Fences is an interesting player connection or need. And as I have the sheep, something about sheep, it's not as immediately intense as the endless cosmos, but I do like it. Thieves regretting crimes. Interesting. When I look here, isolation journey, fences, and borders, that might be a bit difficult with thieves. I don't know if that will work. This is just something I literally thought of today, and I was like, this sounds so cool. What mechanic can make this happen? Chase thou who art always chased. That's just sick. I just find that so cool in my opinion. One player lines that I think I'm gonna return to this one. I gotta be honest. Maybe this current idea, these current mechanics won't serve this, but I do want to return to that. Red alert code X347 Dallas. I know what I was thinking. I was like thinking it would be kind of funny if you need to like sort of that atmosphere of like you're yelling out random codes, but I don't know. I want this to be a quick game. And I guess I should actually put that down. I want this to be quick because you always want to consider time. Again, link in the description of me talking more about these ideas, but time is universal. You always have to think about time. And apologies. And this is so important that it's quick. What does quick sort of like, this is what I call a breakdown. I have some sort of mechanic and I try to see if I could break it down into the connections, the player-bound associations, like what the player thinks of it, or sort of like other mechanics that could come of it. So quick, that could give feelings of anxiety, or maybe quick rewards. That could be interesting. That still works for some of our ideas. I don't know how sheep tending is quite quick, but endless cosmos, I guess that's also not quick. Let's keep looking. Void weaponry is always cool. Yeah, I don't really dig this because every designer, I keep forgetting to write this stuff down. Every designer comes in with their own sort of standards, or like what they want to do, or sort of what they want to establish within every single game. And one thing I do want to establish is sort of just like, I'm not opposed to having violence in my stuff, just like I want it to be meaningful. That's just something I like to put in. Sort of like if there is going to be violence, it must be used carefully. And one thing I always love is some sort of mystery or secrets. I'm quite a fan. Whoa, that is not how you spell mystery. I'm quite a fan of mysteries or secrets, and I've actually hid one in this video. Let me know if you find it. Anyway, you know, this is the good stuff. When you just read something and you laugh. The birds now rule. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know what to do with that. The birds now rule. Okay, sorry, I am back. I need to be somewhere in 10 minutes. So let's do a 10-minute timer. Let's see if we can get this idea down in 10 minutes. So, like I was saying in figure 2 here, I have this lots of ideas. I just love it when you read something and it's like just so funny. I love the birds now rule. That is probably one of my favorites now. But I don't know. The birds now rule. When I look at all my connections, fences / borders, maybe the crows make some sort of fences or something, or birds make fences and borders. That could be interesting. When I look, direct a tragic comedy, I love this idea. I guess it works with isolation because like you're the director and you need to coordinate, and I'm thinking lines and dots. Dots could be used for like individual characters, maybe. I guess we're looking at these ideas. These are the 4 I like the most. Endless cosmos. People always associate dots with stars. Sheep could be dots. or like just drawing some sort of thing. Birds, I guess birds could be dots. Direct to tragic comedy. Okay, I have 8.5 minutes left. I'm just going to choose one of them. When I look, violence is meaningful. I like mystery and secrets. Quick rewards, anxiety. I need something quick. Tragic comedy is anxious. Shepherd. Shepherd with wolf would actually be very anxious. Ooh, this is tight. Okay. Okay, the birds new rule. The birds now rule. I'm not doing that. Direct a tragic comedy. No, I don't see enough use of like lines and stuff. It's not isolationist enough. I'm not going to do direct tragic comedy. Oh god, it's the showdown. Stars, it's either cosmos or sheep. I actually liked the song, but I don't know, I'm just going to focus on these two. Cosmos, isolation goes through. Journey could also work too, but those are conflicting. I gotta choose one of those. Okay. The gameplay would sort of be about drawing something, and then I could draw a line. Yeah, I don't think I could use much writing here for sheep or endless cosmos. Okay, dots. Dots would be stars, lines. I don't know what lines would be. Maybe the path of a ship or something. That doesn't really work with the idea of horror or beauty. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with sheep just because sheep works so well with the fences and borders as lines and sheep as dots. And while I was thinking about this, I thought the wolves could give it anxiety. So I would need some sort of way to differentiate between sheep or wolves. Okay, let's begin writing this out. I have sheep in fences. So sheep and fences. One player only gets isolation. Yeah, I don't have that much more aside from sheep, so I just gotta think it out. Creating a sort of situation, like I said here, where the mechanics create a need. The mechanic, what would happen if I had a bunch of sheep and I need a need for the game. Maybe my need is to fence, maybe fencing the sheep. Like fencing from wolves. So the game here, this is going to be figure 4. As you can see, you can reference it. This is figure 4. This is figure 1. This is figure 2. Figure 3. I am on the deadline. Okay. The game would start where you need to draw a bunch of sheep, and then you draw lines in some way to protect it from a hypothetical wolf, I guess. I guess we could differentiate. How would we make a distinct differentiation? Maybe like so. How's that? Like an upside down A? I think that gives away enough of a wolf vibe. So you have a wolf, and maybe you just have one line, and then you have to form the line that protects the sheep. Like this is the fence that protects the sheep. That's cool, but I guess that doesn't work too well. I would want some sort of situation where you would have to make some more engaging gameplay. I guess if I'm looking back, needs to be something I need to understand aside from just, draw a line to keep the sheep away. I mean, if you want to play that, play that. I'm just exploring something else right now. Maybe let's try this out. What happens if there's 3 sheep and they're surrounded by wolves? What if it's about losing as little sheep as possible? So I could draw a fence here, and then wham, I save 2 sheep, but I lose 1 sheep over here. Is there a possible way I could save this in just 1 fence? I don't know. One like straight line fence. I don't think so. I could kill all the sheep by making a fence like this, and then this guy goes here. That could be an interesting thing too. It's like maybe each wolf can only eat 1 sheep. That would be interesting. That would create a interesting need. Like you need to sacrifice some sheep for it. This is kind of going off the rails because I didn't have, sheep is less of a feeling to achieve. Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna stick with sheep. I mean, I have about 2 minutes left, so let's actually start wrapping this up. This is my mechanics of putting a sheep, putting sheeps, putting wolves, and you need to put a fence. And maybe you could share this with sort of friends and such, of like, oh, you need to protect the sheep. If I look at just my personal goals, I like when there's mysteries or secrets. It's pretty hard to put a secret here, but actually, yeah, let's try it. Let's try to put some secret. Meaningful violence. I mean, you want to avoid the violence, so maybe not the sheep sacrifice thing. But how could I? Oh, what if to play the game, you start with a bunch of wolves. You start with a bunch of wolves, and for example, these wolves, and this is our play space. This is our play space. And then inside this play space, you need to place the sheep in a way that you can enclose them. Oh no, you would just pack them all in one spot and close it. No, that doesn't make any sense. The wolves and sheep need to be randomly aligned, like I was saying. Ooh, I got a minute left. I need to put this in. Wolves and sheeps. Okay, that's the game. There's wolves, and then sheeps are randomly place, and then you try to see how many sheeps you can save. This is really hard, actually. I don't think I can save. Oh, okay. I actually got someone there. Maybe this is a bit too reductionist, but maybe a cool mystery element. Okay, I'm gonna start wrapping this up. Here. So, sheep in fence. The goal of the game is you got to isolate the sheep and protect them, and then you will be given sort of like levels, and then it's like someone can give you a packet, and it's like, here's the sheep, here's the wolves, protect it with 2 fences or 1 fence, and maybe you could draw a symbol. Oh yeah, I like the idea. You could draw sheep symbols. I'm just gonna write it. That's the game. Yes, time's up. That's the game. Sheep symbols. I started with an idea to make a paper-only game, and I wrote down some possible things. I wanted it to be quick, a bit anxious. Maybe you put yourself on a timer, but I don't know if that breaks my rule. And this is 1 player only, where if you want, you could just randomly put sheep and then put some wolf and challenge yourself. It's like, can you defend these sheep? And then the more wolves you get, it gets more complicated. It's like, how do I solve this? I think I can only save the top 2 sheep. But that's sheep symbols, and then the symbols part could come where not only do you protect the sheep, but maybe you give yourself a challenge. Like every time I need to have it look like a 1, So now I have 2 lines, and I can do this, and then this so that this fully blocks off these two and this guy, but these still die. Anyway, that's sheep symbols, my first paper prototype. I want it to be a tradition where I write a quote at the end of my idea. Sheep symbols. Okay, I'm gonna write my quote. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a bit long. Let me know what you think. I literally did not plan any of this. When I was writing the ideas, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna do the stars. But the others are nice ideas. But the more I kind of looked into it, let me know what you think. Again, all links in the description. I'm gonna think of a quote. I really like just adding a little quote just to make sure I could also have a line of written text that really summarizes the idea. And it's like, engrave our sheep's protection. Okay, that doesn't really make sense, but I want it so that when I read it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the sheep symbols game. That's sheep symbols. Links in the doodly-doo. Please let me know what you think. I had so much fun recording this. Thank you, and I believe I will make another one. See you.